Hello, welcome back to more fun retro. I'm still hesitating over that name. Here we have a ZX Spectrum for your delight and delectation. This one is an issue 3 and it's nice but dead. I haven't opened this one. This is the first time I'm looking at this, apart from to stick an asset tag on it, and you can go to that QR code if you want, and hopefully it won't let you in. It should be secure, but please don't hack my website. There we go, screws out. What have we got? Well, we know we've got an issue 3. It looks like the original keyboard membrane that was very tightly in there, and it might be okay. That looks in remarkably good condition for an original one. You usually see like a browny, burny sort of mark across here. I think that's just age. I'm not sure. It might be heat, because there's quite a lot of heat, especially on this side of the board. But yeah, what we've got in here are no surprises. Original caps, a -6 ULA, which is the one that always fails. Really shiny looking coil. I wonder if that's been replaced. I've not seen one as shiny as that. Looks like it's been hand wound. That's a possibility. Looks like all of the original chips from this side, CPU and ROM, are in soldered direct. The voltage regulator looks like it hasn't got any holes or is burnt. Let's get this screw out. Have a look on the other side. This is always a good idea. You can get a lot of clues about the life of a computer by looking at the solder side of the board. And this one has not been touched. Those are all, some of them have been retouched, probably at the factory. I could be inaccurate in that as well, but they all look good. The power jack area looks like it hasn't got any cracks on the solder there. I always check the audio and mic ports as well for cracked solder, and there's nothing there. So I'm going to go straight for power. Paul will already have powered this up, so if there was any damage, that's already been done. So I'm going to connect the display. I'm going to plug in the Steam Card Pro, and I've got a limited current limiting power supply. I accidentally hit the switch then, spoiler. So I'm looking here for the voltages, and they are all there, but there's nothing on the display. That's kind of interesting. So I'm not trusting these will show me if there's at least those voltages, +12, +9, +5 and -5, but it won't show me if they're accurate. So that's the next stage. Let's make sure that the voltages are correct. So we've got the output voltage is 8.8. The -5 is -4.7. +12 is 12.1, and the 5 volts is 5.03. So the voltages are okay. I'm happy to leave this running now, but I am going to turn it off. Actually, I'm going to turn it back on and turn on my thermal camera. Oh yeah, there's a few of the RAM chips down here are different temperatures. So that one there is cold, IC8. This one is a bit warmer, but these three at the end, especially this one, are getting warmer by the second. The ULA is stone cold. That's not right. CPU is its normal, quite toasty temperature. Why no output? So first thing to suspect is the ULA, completely dead. But it could be that it's not being driven. It could be that the crystal's gone and there's no clock. But we can tell that in a sec. Okay, I've got my Oscilloscope hooked up, and I've got the points that are available on the edge connector are broken out on this board here, and one of them is clock. Let's have a look, see what that says. Yeah, there's no clock. There's absolutely no clock. Okay, this is a printout of Break Into Program Dean's part of his blog website. You should go and check this out. It's got loads of really cool projects on there, lots of information. And I like this pinout of the ULA because he gives some explanations about what's going on, specifically the clock. But there's all sorts of things about, you know, where the keyboard data lines are and which video signals you're looking at, the ROM chip select, and he gives you a lot of information. I think there is another sheet that gives you even more than this, but I might have lost that bit. But it says that the ULA takes the 14 megahertz master clock feed on pin 39 from the crystal oscillator and divides that by 2 to provide a more stable 7 megahertz clock for the video pixel clock. Then again to provide a 3.5 megahertz clock for the CPU and peripherals. The 3.5 megahertz clock signal is output on pin 32 of the ULA, which is CLK. So we'll look at that one first. Let's turn this on. 9876543.2. Absolutely nothing. So pretty much nothing. There's a few millivolts there. So that's that. But the clock coming in, which is pin 39, which is Q, which should be a 14 megahertz clock. There's absolutely nothing there as well. I think the crystal was busted. Right, I've just grabbed my working board, and this is pin 32 of the ULA, and that's the outgoing clock at 3.5 megahertz. I've got my probe on 10x. I've got that set up properly, and this is pin 39, and it's a much lower amplitude signal, but it is showing that there is a clock there on pin 39. I should have something on both of those points. If I then plug the broker machine in the same fashion, I'm keeping everything the same. Pin 39 is just showing a mess, and that's a similar story on pin 32. Okay, so I reckon the crystal is the culprit. I don't think I've ever had to replace a crystal in a Spectrum. There's a 14 megahertz TEC. There are 2 of them there. One of these will work. Let's get this one out. I'm going to try something a little bit crazy because I don't know this one, if this is any good. This was salvaged. So I'm going to plug this in. It's got no crystal in there. This could damage it, this could kill it, but I'm curious if this will work. I'm just going to hold this in place. Putting a little bit of pressure so that it's got a connection. Oh, we've still got no display. I'm going to go to this one, which I'm pretty sure is okay. Still absolutely no activity at all. So it could be the ULA. I should really have tested the ULA first because I can just take it out. That was, yeah, that was a bit dumb. Just verify that this works. It's a bit blue, but that's fine. Oh, it's the ULA. Oh, that's such a shame. It's such a shame. Totally dead ULA. One of the ULAs out of my parts bin. These are very precious. Might not be the only fault, so we'll see. Is that just going to turn on? No, it's not. Oh, yes, bad connection. All right, let's see if it passes some tests. Oh, what a shame. It's the thing you don't want to see when you buy a ZX Spectrum off of eBay or wherever. The one thing you don't want to be wrong with it is the ULA. I wonder if the keyboard is also fine on this. If it's just that. Yep, the keyboard membrane is good as well, so... Sadly, I have to take this out. Right, so an unhappy ending, I'm afraid. This is a bad ULA and everything else is good. What I'll do is I'll put this back with the repair pile. If there's another one that's in rough condition, say for instance, this one, I'm pretty sure this one is, no, this only needs one RAM chip changing. So if there was one that was in really poor condition, then maybe we'll change the ULA even to that one, because it would be better for Paul to sell this one than this. I mean, that's horrible. That's disgusting. Right, so yep, that one's done. I think I'm going to have to just say that's the end of this story. Not always a satisfying thing to fix. You know, when you get to the end of a repair, it can be that, I mean, if this was my machine, I'd probably find a ULA for it. I've got some ULAs for my own collection, but I'm not giving them away. I'm sure Paul will understand that. And Paul might have a source of ULA, so he might want this back as it is, and he'll get a ULA in there. This, I mean, it's not going to be a scrap board. Some of them, if they're in poor condition and maybe it's like an issue 2 inside, then it's not really worth doing much. And issue 3 is, you know, it's one of the better ones. So this will go back to Paul, or it will be repopulated, or I don't know what's going to happen with this, but there you go. Right, that's the end of that. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to do things with YouTube that YouTube insist on to make this video reach other people. You know how that works. I'd also like to mention that I've been a part of a podcast for 13 years now, and on and off, a lot of off, but yeah, for 13 years we've been friends and we've done a lot of podcasts. We've done now 102 episodes. It's a video game podcast, so it's not anything to do with hardware, although I'll sometimes talk about hardware, but sometimes it's more modern stuff. I'll often talk about retro stuff just to annoy the others, but there's me and 3 other friends make this podcast called Ready Player 2. I will leave a link in the description. Maybe you can come and give it a listen, because, well, basically we're starting again, and starting again is really hard. So yeah, give us a subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. That's the plug done.